Today, we'll take a quick look at what you can do in the users and notifications section. So we're in our test fleet here. If we come down to users and notifications, you can see a couple of options at the top. We have add user notifications, which allow you to set notifications for whatever users are added, and fleet segmentation. So let's take a look at adding a user. So if you want to add a user, you click the add user button, which will bring up this form here, and it won't necessarily autofill, but it should look something like this. So we can put in test user and then a random email. So we can do test@pitstopconnect.com. And the password can be anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also double check your password by clicking to view it. Select which fleet you want to apply this user to. So for example, we want to do it to our test fleet number 7, and then select the role. So we have 2 roles. 90% of the time, the people you're adding will be a fleet manager that gives full access to Pitstop. The driver role is a really specific and narrow access to Pitstop, so more than likely you'll be choosing fleet manager. So we select fleet manager, and then you can also input a phone number. This phone number will receive any notifications that are specifically set to receive text messages. You have a couple of options here, so we can send the login credentials and instructions on how to get into Pitstop to whatever phone number provided. You can also get the option to print the login credentials and instructions if, say, you need to hand it to one of your technicians. Aside from that, we'll also email a invitation email to whatever email provided here as well with the login credentials. So we can go ahead and click add to list, and we can see the user is now set up to be added. You can add multiple people at once. For example, if we wanted a test user 2 or test user 3, they would all appear here, and then we would click finish. Ignore that, and we can see our test user has now been added. If we want to set up notifications for this person, we have the maintenance report schedule. So we can click here, select any day of the week that this maintenance report will be sent out to whatever users we select. So for example, let's do Friday at 9 a.m. and we'll send this to our test user email and click confirm. Wait for it to load. And there we go, and that notification is set up. So very similar for all the other notifications. So issue alerts, select what issue alert you want to send to whatever user. So if you want to send critical alerts, major alerts, maybe minor alerts as well, and then you can select whatever user to send those alerts to. Same thing for work orders. If you want to send work orders to whatever users, either by text or by email, you can do the same. Move this out of the way, click cancel. Or lastly, PM notifications. So if you want to send PM notifications to whatever users are added to your fleet, again, by email or notification or by text message, you can do that as well here. Lastly, we'll look at fleet segmentation. So this is if you want to set up different segments for your fleet. So for example, our main fleet might be test fleet 7. And we have several vehicles here at the bottom. But say we want a specific fleet for maybe the first 2 vehicles. We could do that. We could name it test fleet number 8. If we want to remove these vehicles from test fleet 7, most customers usually keep a main fleet and just add additional vehicles to whatever their new fleet is rather than removing it from the main fleet. So we'll just have no for now. Whatever users we also want to associate with that fleet, maybe you don't want all your users associated with the new fleet, just some of them, you can select that. So we'll put test user on our test fleet 8. And then, like I said, we'll just do the first 2 vehicles and we do setup configuration. And now because our user is a test user and not real user, it's going to throw an error. But any real user that is added to that test fleet will now be added to that fleet segment. And that's everything with our users and notifications.